Good morning and welcome. You're listening into Carterton Connections, proudly sponsored, of course, by the Carterton District Council. And this morning we have Bridget co-hosting. Good morning, Bridget.
Good morning, Cheryl. I'm a bit tempted to say, and this is the 9 o'clock news.
And in studio we've got Rebecca.
Good morning.
Good morning. Rebecca, you're, I think, the youngest councillor, aren't you, at Carterton District Council?
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yes.
By a number of years.
You say that very emphatically.
That's all right, though.
And one, I think, you know, that brings their children in occasionally.
Yes, I do, sadly.
No, I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that you juggle that role, and also it's great that the council have been flexible enough to allow that to actually happen.
I think she could give some tips to Jacinda Ahern.
I know.
Adern.
Yeah, I have been seeing her. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, how is she ever going to do that? But yeah, I think having her husband's going to be, or her partner's going to be a stay at home, and I think her mum's travelling with her or something. So, but you know, I said sadly, not from a council point of view, but because they distract me a lot. That's why.
That's what kids do.
Yes, and that's their job, really, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Now, we invited you here today because we've got a fabulous week coming up, and it's the Go By Bike Week. And part of the, we've got the Advantage cycle race going on. I think that starts on the 19th.
I believe so, possibly even earlier.
Could be the 17th.
Once they roll in.
I think there's at least 600
yes.
people coming through. Wild Oats have already got a message on their counter saying, you know, that this is going to happen, and we apologise sort of already if we take a little bit of extra time, you know, serving your order, but this is the reason why. And there was an elderly guy, a little bit grizzled yesterday, leaning over the counter, peering away, reading this notice, which I'd already read. I was sort of one ahead. And I looked at him, and as he looked up, and I said, be a great day for looking at the lycra legs, won't it?
You saucy girl.
Naughty Cheryl.
Wow. I thought let's put a positive spin on it, you know.
Absolutely.
You know, I just said there'll be lots of lovely ladies in lycra for you, and I said I won't be watching them, I'll be watching the men, so, you know.
So
I didn't follow the link for Vantage. Who are they?
They're the main sponsor of the event.
Are they a New Zealand-based crowd?
I think that it's a commercial, as far as I know. I think it's like windows and door specialists.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Not software.
Yeah.
No.
But it's for everybody, isn't it?
Yes.
This is a fantastic thing. And through the week, Rebecca, do you want to talk a little bit about the background behind the Huri Huri events that are coming up?
Yes, I can. So basically we heard this event was coming to Carterton, and we thought, well, it's such a really cool opportunity to kind of showcase cycling around town and things. So the Walking and Cycling group, we kind of said, you know, how can we support this national event that's coming to Carterton? And we thought, we'll do some fun community events. And so together with Catherine from Huri Huri, so that's the...
Rossiter Steed.
Catherine Rossiter Steed. So me, Catherine and Kate got together and said, look, what are some things we could do? And Catherine came up with all these ideas with a lot of things that she's run before. So it was, really cool.
I'm quite excited because there's one for the slightly older people, older generation.
You're talking about?
Try an
love an
e-bike. You know, you can actually try one, Bridget.
I have tried one.
Oh, have you? Oh.
Yeah, a friend of mine had bought one, and I've been up in the Bay of Plenty for a bit.
Right.
And my friend and her husband got them, and so we went around Sulphur Point and through Rotorua, which is a very bike-friendly city. And on these e-bikes, it takes a bit of getting used to. You know, you sort of flick your gear forward and suddenly the whole thing goes vroom, pedaling like crazy.
Do they go quite fast?
Well, you've got a choice. Like I actually never got out of number one, whatever that was, and then you have got your gears that you can adjust on the other hand. So, but I think if you cycled a distance, by that I mean, say you lived up Norfolk Road or somewhere and you wanted to cycle to Carterton, and it was one of those lovely nor'westerlies, an e-bike would be great because you could just power through and you wouldn't end up in a lather and a sweat and tired and it'd be a following wind coming home, wouldn't be a problem. But an uphill, so I think for older people who might think, I don't want to get on a bike, it's too much like hard work, an e-bike gives you the best of both worlds, and you're out in the fresh air.
Yeah. There's this Tuesday the 17th of April, so you're right, it does start a little bit earlier, and it says to celebrate the Vantage Age Group Road National Championships, which take place in the Carterton district between 20th and the 22nd of April. Huri Huri is co-hosting by Bike Week, and it says if it's been a while since you rode a bike, like forever for me, and you would like to regain your confidence in the saddle and on the road, make sure you join us for a casual ride out with our pedal-ready cycling instructors. And it says after a little practice, thank goodness for that, the guided ride will head out to Fincham Reserve and return to Wild Oats Cafe in time for morning tea.
What day is that?
I think it's Tuesday 17th of April.
Next week.
Yes. So it says, haven't got a bike? Green Jersey Cycle Tours will be happy to supply a bike for the morning. And you just please reserve a bike by emailing, now I have to get close up, Wairarapa Bike Festival, all together, Wairarapa Bike Festival at gmail.co.nz. And it's a free event, but please register through Event Finder. And I checked, I went on the Event Finder screen yesterday, and it is free all the way through.
Yes.
Isn't that tremendous?
Isn't it?
Good old green jersey.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, they're really cool. Actually, they're so the councillors we're biking to our meetings on Wednesday as well. So we're meeting at the Clearville Bakery, very convenient spot, at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're also going to provide us some bikes so we can bike to our meetings for the day, which is really cool.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, we'll just hope for a nice sunny day and no wind.
I know. I don't
Well, yeah, because there's a little bit of snow up on top of the Tararuas at the
beautiful.
moment. It was absolutely
was
gorgeous.
exquisite.
Yeah, absolutely fabulous. But it's not something you'd like to be biking in if the sleet is coming down.
That's
No,
where you
thank
might
you.
decide to get an e-bike.
I know. Whiz into town really quickly. Yeah.
So there's something for the children as well, Rebecca.
Yes. So Carterton District Library is helping with this event on the Wednesday from 9:30 till 11. And that's for any kids who want to come decorate their helmet. And I know Quentin at the library has got some really cool ideas, and we've had Take Note and Carterton sponsor some items, and Sparky Can Do. So Sparky Can Do, they do costume events, so they've donated all this fur.
Juliet came in yesterday. Yes.
Yeah, so she would have dropped that all off.
Yeah, it was a huge box.
Of what fur? Faux fur?
Yeah.
And she has like really cool funky colours, and
awesome.
so you could do like a big mohawk down the middle of your helmet if you wanted, or bunny ears, who knows what you wanted.
Everybody's going to be an individual. And the other thing is there's something called Mini Wheelers, which is Saturday the 21st of April. And that looks cool. It's for 2 to 5 year olds. And they've made a wee little course for little legs. And it says, especially been designed. And it says gold coin sausage sizzle available. And that's, it's a fundraiser for R2R.
It is. So we're going to be making use of the wonderful Lions Community Barbecue down there. So
is that a Rolls-Royce style barbecue?
Well, it's a free electric button pusher one.
Wow.
It's great. Yeah, we've used it a lot over summer actually. It's been really good.
Oh, fantastic.
Yum. And on the other side, and it's Saturday the 21st of April as well. What does it say? Yep, so same day. You've got a BMX workshop.
Yes, so there's no age limit on that, I don't think. It is probably aimed at around teenagers or those who are really confident on their bike.
6 years plus, yeah.
So basically there's a group, the Freestylers BMX group, that will be coming down for that, and they've done a few events in the Wairarapa before, and they're really cool. Like I remember seeing them at Mitre 10 in Masterton, and they do massive jumps on their bike. So they're going to be hosting some workshops and doing some demonstrations on the Saturday. Yeah. Which is very cool. I'm looking forward to watching that.
Now there is a cost to that one.
There is.
It's $10 to register, and caregivers will need to complete a registration form and waiver. And so they're sort of saying too that, they're recommending, but honestly I would say it's essential that they wear long sleeve tops and long trousers or track pants for the workshop. And, look, this is just how it is with real life, you can't get the thrills without the spills sometimes.
Absolutely. So where's this taking place?
Carrington Park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So because they got the half pipes and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they learn about bike safety equipment and essential safety skills and how to fix and maintain their bike. So there's some learning in there as well as games, stories and stunt demonstrations.
That would be a very good $10 worth, wouldn't it?
Would.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's Saturday the 21st. So not this weekend, but next weekend.
First Saturday of the holidays.
Oh.
Very smart timing. I
Yep.
was thinking there could be lots of
Perfect.
parents going, thank goodness for that.
Yep. Burn off some energy.
Oh my God, this is also fabulous. So, because I think are you on the Trails Advisory Group as well?
Yeah, so there's a Wairarapa Trails group that's kind of just getting on its feet at the moment. Yeah, but it's looking more at like region-wide biking trails and how they can be connected up and just
LinkedIn, yes.
improving communications between the three councils and that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a meeting, I think you had a meeting yesterday, and I was approached from a lady from the Wellington Regional Economic Development Group afterwards who asked me about the trails. So I was able to get up and give her the hut and the Wairarapa cycle trails, tell her where all the walks were and all around, and the Wairarapa and Orui, and she was most impressed.
Good.
Yeah. So I thought, right, that's a good start, because is there something too about it being linked so people don't have to go on State Highway 2?
Yes. Yeah, so what's happening is there's the Five Towns Trails Trust. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
So it's not actually run by council, it's a separate trust, but they're looking at connecting up, so it's the Rimataka Cycle Trail, and then it would go right through to Masterton, that's the idea, and possibly even up to Pukaha and Mount Bruce.
Wow.
That would be stunning,
And
wouldn't it?
off State Highway 2. And so at the moment I'm fairly sure they've secured funding for a bridge coming out of Featherston.
There was something in the paper about that recently, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first one they're going to be attempting. And then the next one will be Carterton. So it's really cool.
It is. So we're from Carterton to Masterton.
It'll go, so the western side of Carterton.
Right.
I think it would go past like Fencham Reserve, out Chester Road sort of thing, out to Mount Holsworth.
Right.
And then it'd cross over the Wainau River up there and then head into Masterton. So that's just a rough idea, I think, of where it's going. But I'm pretty sure they have a good website that you can go have a look at their little map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just Google Five Towns Trail. Yeah, and see what comes up.
Great. You're doing a lot of work, aren't you?
I'm not doing any of that work.
Well,
I'm just supporting it.
You're supporting it.
Yeah.
You need supporters.
Yeah, but you've been facilitating the R2R, the
Yes.
program, which is Rangatahi to Rangatira.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I saw this week it was being held at the Baptist Church Hall.
We did, yeah. There was the Balanced Farm Awards at the Carterton Event Centre, so we gave up our space so they could use the kitchen. And Wayne at the Baptist Church is developing a really cool youth space, actually.
Oh, wow.
Down at the church in the old hall there.
Yeah.
So we got to use that space for an evening, which was really cool. So it's still in the beginning stages. I think they're trying to finish it by June or July. So
Right, which is great because it's winter and that's when kids have got teenagers have got nowhere to hang out.
And I think that's the sort of idea he had in mind, yeah.
So what will be in this space to make it particularly attractive to teens?
Well,
Climbing wall?
he said a gaming room, and I saw all these kids' ears pick up. So,
Yeah.
so they're going to have a gaming room, I think, just couches, some screens, some just grass, like pool tables, table tennis tables, not all just screens. In the hall, they also have some punching bags and things like that, where there's a man that runs it's not karate, it's something else.
Like judo or
some sort of
kickboxing.
self-defense classes, which is really cool. So
wow.
You'll have to maybe get him on and come talk to you.
Absolutely.
What's his name?
Wayne Potua.
Yeah.
But we might be a bit late, mightn't it?
We
Squeeze them in.
Yeah. But we can certainly pass on his name to Val and Rob, who are going to take over the slot from beginning of May.
Yeah.
And that would be just so awesome. I'm so glad, because I know, watching Dallas and Anaru and you, the kids are turning up early, desperate to get in.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really, really cool. On a Wednesday, as I'm leaving work, there are kids sort of
hanging out outside the door.
Waiting for the youth centre to open. Yeah.
And especially as it gets a bit colder and darker at night, they turn up a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So
do you feed them?
we do, yeah. So we have dinner as well. So we run from 5:30 till 7:30 on Wednesday nights at the youth centre, and we generally do sports, plan activities, have dinner, make dinner.
So who does the cooking? And the reason I'm thinking of that, I'm wondering, you're really busy. Who cooks in your household? Do you have to?
It really depends. It depends on what day of the week it is.
Okay.
Yeah, like Thursday night's pizza night, because Josh has got rugby practice.
If you're tired after a hard day, the last thing you want to is go home and cook. So it was just a passing thought. But sorry, back to R2R. Who backs the food for that?
Actually, I do a lot of the cooking. Well, it's not the cooking, it's the coordinating, really.
Oh, okay.
So we normally have about 5 kids in the kitchen. And so sometimes they'll decide what they want to cook, and sometimes I'll just bring along some ingredients and say we're cooking this tonight. And
they do their own. So doing their own food is part of their life skills.
Definitely,
Fabulous.
Yeah.
What a good
so
idea.
learning how to do some really basic recipes, just like spaghetti bolognese, pasta. What else do we do? Nachos.
Which
Do
everyone loves.
lots of chicken stuff.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Easy
isn't it?
meals
Yeah.
that are relatively healthy.
Yeah. And I have to say, the school holiday program that's coming up in the second week of the school holidays, one of the most popular workshops is the cooking.
Really?
Yes, the kids, there's always too many children, it's trying to fit them in. So every morning they split them into 2 groups. One group goes into the event centre kitchen, one into the youth centre kitchen, and then they bake, and the kids are fed that for morning tea, the results. So it's wonderful, isn't it?
That is a
Kids do love it. Like, even at play centre, I take Malia along, and she just loves it. Like, she would do baking all day if she could.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's real baking, it's not with Play-Doh?
Yeah, like with scones. They make scones a lot, which are just really simple, easy. Muffins.
Great, fantastic.
Yum, yes.
I love cooking.
I'm now hungry. I'm now hungry.
We've just talked ourselves into
salivating and wanting food.
Exactly. So, Rebecca, any highlights for you this year, or anything, like some real challenges that are coming your way?
Yes. Well, there's lots of quite exciting things starting to happen. So like this bike week is one of them. Just I'm really into like community events and that sort of thing. The other thing that we're starting to work on is looking at the front of Carrington Park and how we can improve that space, as with more seating and a bit more planting. So we've got a little team looking at that at the moment. We'll have just a really basic design that we can go by. So that's where we're at with that stage. So I'm quite excited about that. The placemaking, there's always cool stuff happening in the placemaking space. So one of the ideas at the moment is at Haumanu House, which I'm not sure if you know where that is, but it's basically behind Carter's.
And behind, right behind the police station.
Behind the police station. So that's Haumanu House, and they so Wairarapa is doing this awesome mural for the front fence. Just really, it's going to be really cool. And then out the back where the community garden is, there's the idea to really turn it into a showcase garden. So have it with raised gardens, maybe a little bit of art, nice pavement, seating. So that's really cool. Looking forward to that. So
can we go and scrump apples from the orchard?
They're very tiny trees at the moment. Maybe 3 apples a year at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. Won't take long. It won't take long.
No.
But I think, in fact, you used some of the produce this past year for the R2R, but also you donated to the food bank.
We have, yeah. So, whenever there's a bit too much, yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, that's an amazing sort of...
It's just great, isn't
Yeah.
it? The way things sort of network in, kind of, a bit like roots, really. The whole thing kind of coordinates, and a little bit comes in here and a little bit comes in there, Carterton's great for that.
And Carol from the budgeting service, I'm pretty sure she works out of Home Manu House as well. And
She does.
She's gone into the garden several times and got out silver beet or whatever it is for her clients. Yeah, and her husband and her just did a whole bunch of work over Easter weekend in the garden, which was amazing. So I was like, oh gosh, honestly, they did so much work.
Yeah,
I was very impressed.
Yeah.
What, just weeding, planting?
Yeah, weeding, pulling things out, It had gotten quite overgrown over summer, I tell you, so...
So is there a watering system, or does somebody have to regularly go and grab the hose?
You do need to turn the tap on. So there is a watering system, but you do
have to have the tap on.
Yeah, you have to go there and wait, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Because there are, I know, some slightly of our more mature community members that have also expressed an interest in being part of the gardening crew. We do tend to refer them your way,
yes.
Rebecca. But I thought it would be great if you've got enough, then, like, even if they did the tap once a week, do you know what I mean? That would maintain it.
Oh, definitely.
And, keep the produce
especially
going.
over summer.
Yes.
It dries out really quickly. But I think that's part of Anne-Marie Kingsley. She's helping come up with the design for the showcase garden. And she's really experienced in that sort of thing. So,
have you seen her plays?
I went to it over the garden, the art trail weekend just past. Yeah. So I went to go have a look at it, had a little nosy around with Josh, and I was like, oh gosh, there's so much work that's gone into this. It's amazing, but got some really cool ideas. Yeah. And the thing I like about it is it's not like one of those perfect gardens.
Oh, no,
you know, that need every twig just pointing the right direction.
No.
So, yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, and I mean, she does a lot of mosaic work as well, Anna-Marie.
Yes.
So she's at mosaic, sort of like like a concrete couch, and I mean, beautifully it's all done. Yeah, yes.
So she's moved on from taps. Was she the taps lady?
Yes, she's the taps lady. She calls it her bloke art. Yeah, she started with, I think, and I'm trying to think way back when, because it's about 10 years ago. I think what happened was that they'd had a big barbecue out at her place, and when she went out the next morning, there was just a pile of like empty beer bottles and cans and whatever, and I think she took a photograph of it, and then she went inside and painted the
post-barbecue chaos.
Yeah. And in fact, it was very popular, and I think it got sold to the CEO of one of the beer companies. That,
oh, really?
Yes. So she kind of started from there, and I think her father-in-law has had a lot of old boxes of different plumbing bits and things in the sheds where they live, and so that's where the bloke art started from.
I wondered,
Yes. So
she's very, very talented.
Absolutely.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. She was very good to me. I did a mosaic workshop, and she's an incredibly patient teacher.
Oh, yes, that's a talent, isn't it? That's
because
a real
I'm
gift.
I'm not patient in any way when I'm creating. I just got to the grouting and I went, nah, can't be bothered anymore. Which shows you why I'm not an artist, but I can appreciate what's gone into an artwork. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
I think a lot of us fall into that category.
I'm a small project sort of person, I think, as I lose steam halfway through.
Well, I think the other thing is I've seen your mum coming and doing sewing lessons in the courthouse next door.
Yes, Mum's really talented at sewing stuff actually, and quilting. We've made a few quilts together.
They're beautiful, and they're labour intensive, aren't they? Quilts.
Yeah.
So that courthouse space is obviously very
It's
successful.
starting to be used, and I just sort of feel it was. I don't think there was enough marketing around your mum's sewing course, but I saw some very happy, delighted people. I think Marcella was one of the ones that did something when she came in. Sort of the look on her face, the delight in her eyes at having made this. Piece of sort of sewing was just, it was so cool. And I just think it's those wonderful creative parts, because sewing is just as creative as anything
It's
else.
engineering with fabric, isn't it, really?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not easy. You've got to think in 3 dimensions, and it's all 2-dimensional on the table, and you've got to get the material folded. It's really hard.
And boomerang bags, do you belong to that?
I'm in the email chain.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm on the Facebook posting. So,
Yeah.
I have actually donated a little bit of fabric here and there.
Yes. There's so many things I would be involved with, but 24 hours in a day and 2 children, so...
Exactly, plus you're a counsellor, R2R facilitator.
Exactly.
There's so many committees that you sit on. So we really appreciate the fact that you've come in this morning. Where are the children at the moment?
They're at my sister-in-law's.
Oh, okay. So
playing with their cousins.
Oh, right.
Lovely.
So you didn't drop them at St Mary's?
No. No, I didn't.
Well, look, we will play a little bit of music so that you can actually slide out gracefully out of the studio. And it's been lovely, really lovely to have you here. And we are looking forward to all the events in the Go By Bike Week and the Vantage Age cycling race.
Absolutely.
That would be really, really exciting.
Good.
So I think we picked out something from Genesis. Yeah, it's going to get better.
I reckon.
I hope so.
Onward and upward.
I know. So here we go, guys. We'll put this on while you move on out.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, nice to have caught up with you, Rebecca.
Yeah. Welcome back. You're listening into Carterton Connections with Cheryl and Bridget this morning.
Hello again.
And of course, proudly sponsored by the Carterton District Council. Now, you were saying that you attempted to attend Living the Change last night, which is a local New Zealand film about sustainability and...
Absolutely. I went a few years ago. They had, I think it was a movie called Tomorrow, which was about various people around the world doing things to help sustainability and, resilience within local communities and that kind of thing. And I've actually been away for a wee while, and I came back home a couple of days ago, and I thought, right, I'll go to Living the Change. Well, I have to tell you, and my husband did not believe this, that there was nowhere to park in Carterton last night. And I was running a bit late. The clock tower struck 7, and I'm going to turn into a pumpkin. Anyway, I drove around several blocks, in fact, and seriously, there was not a space. And I got back home, and my husband said to me, he said, why didn't you stay? I said, there was no parking in Carterton. He said, there's always parking in Carterton. I said, well, not tonight, there wasn't. So it was obviously really, really well attended.
Yes.
And I would imagine in fact, I called through Paetua to visit friends, and they were thinking of coming. So I think people from very far afield.
We're actually going, 6 o'clock it actually started with food.
Oh.
With food.
I should have gone at 6 o'clock.
You should have. Yeah. They said they were serving healthy kai, and they were doing some socialising for half an hour, and then at 6:30 there was going to be the signing of this project plan between the Carterton community and Department of Internal Affairs.
Is that Resilient Carterton behind this?
Well, it is behind it, but they want it to be a community-led project.
Right.
So they're wanting people that they're wanting the Carterton community people to step forward and say what it is they're wanting, in their community.
Yeah.
And then the movie started at 7 o'clock, and then after that there was going to be a Q&A session as well.
It would have been. I would imagine it was standing room only, actually, for those who came in late. So part of me, sorry I missed it, but part of me thought, well, I'm really pleased that half the world has come to see this tonight.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
It would have been fantastically successful.
Yeah, it created quite a buzz, I think, which is really great. Really... And this morning I zipped by the event centre, and already Opportunity was setting up.
Right. Now, the lovely Opportunity. This is really incredible, because these talented group of people go all around the country playing, probably aimed at an older audience, playing fabulous songs, and they're almost theatrical in their approach to it. So they're actually in Carterton today. So if you're not there now, you've missed it. But
it doesn't start till 11.
Oh, it starts at 11.
Yes.
But I've been there once or twice, and there are door sales, because occasionally they haven't been.
Yeah.
And I have seen,
there are always door sales, but sometimes they run out of seats.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, there was some reason why one time I went.
They might not have had FPOS.
I think there was something. If you didn't have cash, you couldn't. Okay, so if you want to trot along there and you haven't booked through either Age Concern or some other organisation, then you do need to take cash. So today it is because you asked for it, and it's a request show. So you actually you put in your request, and you can be in a draw to go on a trip, to win a trip to the Taranaki Garden Tour, which I understand is beautiful. So if you've got your favourite 75 song that you can remember from way back, trot along there today and be in for that fun. And of course they come every month. I think I've got that right.
Right. Yeah, I think it's every 4 to 6 weeks.
Every 4 to 6 weeks. So in fact, if you miss it in Carterton, you can catch up with it, I believe, in Masterton. Yes or no?
No, Lower Hutt. No, they were using Masterton Town Hall, and the reason, of course, we've got it now in Carterton as at the event centre is because of the issues.
Right. Now, if somebody wanted a program, because there's a whole year's
I've got them
concerts
at the event centre.
Right. Go and see Lovely Cheryl at the event centre, and you can get the 2018 concert program for the daytime Opportunity concert series. And if you love music and you want to meet people, and they give a lovely lunch afterwards, beautiful sandwiches, you need to pick up that brochure. It's all
included in your ticket price as well.
And the ticket prices,
I think it's about $34.
$34, yeah. But it's that is a really, if you're only going to treat yourself to something once every 4 to 6 weeks, that would be a good spend of $34. So the next opportunity is on Friday the 29th of June, and it's called Rattle and Shake. Shake, Rattle and Roll. So if you have really fond memories of the 50s and 60s and the rock and roll crooners and swing and all that kind of thing, all those lovely, really wonderful music. The older music is really, I think, pretty good. My parents would have, if they'd still been alive, would have really, really appreciated. So they're in Carterton on Friday the 29th of June. All concerts start at 11 a.m. There is actually a toll-free number.
Yes.
Shall I give that out?
Yeah, do, because they can actually, I encourage people to reserve a seat if they,
because this is very popular. So if you want to find out more, there is a toll-free number, which is 0508 266 237. And if you've got access to the internet, there is a web page. So it's www.daytimeconcerts, all one word, .co.nz. So you can go and get yourself sorted with that. You can book by email, bookings@opportunity.co.nz. That's a lot of information. But if you've missed all that, look up Carterton District Council in the phone book and phone the lovely Cheryl, and she can fill you in with all that stuff. Then, of course, there's the fabulous Carterton Sunset Cinema. And the next, which is monthly as we know, Friday, May the 4th will be the next one. 7:30 till 9:30 is the movie, but you can go along at 7 o'clock to have a few nibbles and just catch up with people and hear a band usually. You can get a season ticket, so you can get a discount on your movie going. If you think you're going to go and see lots of movies every month throughout the year, you can get a 3-season ticket, or you can get a ticket for the whole year, or you can pay just as you go. And I think now it's $12, is it? Yeah. Still very cheap cinema and right on your doorstep. And the next one is The Selfish Giant, which is a UK 2013 movie, R13, offensive language for those of you who are shrinking violets. But it is, it's based on the story about the selfish giant, which I think was an Oscar Wilde story.
I can remember it just, the selfish giant one being on the children's radio program. I think it's an entirely different.
It is. I have actually seen The Selfish Giant, and I had a bit of difficulty connecting it with the Oscar Wilde story, but it is a really powerful, almost like a documentary, really. And you, it isn't. It isn't a documentary, but it's if you like horses, there's a lot of horses in it. It is a bit sad and a bit bleak because it takes place in the UK. Around people who live in, horrible housing and have no future and so on. But it does end on an optimistic note. Not optimistic by New Zealand standards, but optimistic by UK standards. So if you want to go and see something that's alternative cinema, because I'm sure this wouldn't have been anywhere, wouldn't have been on any of the major cinema circuits because it is an alternative movie, please go and see that. And I think that's
I think I've flicked the pages over too. That it hasn't. There is a talent. Yep. There's.
Wait. No, that's blank on there. That's got a cross through it.
That's only because I created an event. Wilson.
After the storm? No.
There's something there with Wilson. We've got Wilson Dixon.
Oh, Wilson Dixon. Here he is.
Yeah.
Here's the man, people. Yeah. Wilson Dixon. Come on, show me. Here's Wilson Dixon. There we go. Which way do I show this? Right. Wilson Dixon. Now, he's been before, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah. He's he will be appearing on the 13th of May, 7:30 to 8:40 at the Carterton Event Centre. There are tickets priced at $38. A concession ticket, I presume that's for people over 65?
Don't know.
Well, it says concession here, $32. A group of plus six or more, is $32. Now, Wilson Pickett, Wilson Dixon is a comedian, isn't he? Right, okay. He will be singing. He will be talking. This show is part of his first national tour, And if you're interested in finding out more, you want to go to Zanetti Productions, and that is ZANETTI dash, or is that because it's gone through the next line?
Pass.
Right, okay, this is on 2 lines. So
If
the dash,
you go to Event Finder.
go to Event Finder. Go to Event Finder and
just put in Wilson Dixon.
put in Wilson Dixon. Here we go. Cheryl's got all the answers. And see if that's going to appeal to you. I think you can. I found him on YouTube, so if you want a taster, go and have a taste of him. He is very funny. And I think really with what's going on in America now, he's probably got some quite pertinent insights on the current situation.
Yes.
Of, the president, who shall not be mentioned. Is there anything else, my lovely, that I meant to have dealt with?
See the one that's got a cross through it? That's actually the talent. No, turn it around so that it's... Oh, yep.
Oh, it's blank on the back.
Yes, talent. It's actually a talent show. It's a Rotary talent show that's coming up in the finals, I think, of the 19th and 20th of April. So maybe the...
the Rotary Variety Show.
That's
Poster attached, it says. Yeah. Oh, okay.
No, there isn't a poster attached.
There's no poster, and all I can tell you, it's on the 19th of May.
Yes, so the finals are on the 19th and 20th.
Right. So is this New Zealand-wide and Carterton's just hosting it, or?
No, this is, I think, just for the Wairarapa.
The local,
local Rotary. And, of course, Sunset Cinema is coming up with other things as well.
There's loads of Sunset Cinema, but you can... I think at the event centre you've got a Sunset Cinema brochure flyer.
Yeah, it's very brief. It's doesn't sort of tell you all about the movies, but you can actually access that through their website.
Yes, you can, and I think they offer a trailer, don't they?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Okay. So there's a Rotary Variety on the 19th of May. Then the 22nd of May is a suicide prevention workshop. Is that right?
Yes. Now, I'm not sure whether that's public.
Sorry. That wasn't crossed through. So.
Yeah. So, but the other thing is for those people that are very active out there or wanting to get active, the South Wairarapa Tramping Club.
Oh.
Yes.
They've been going a long time. They have.
And I've noticed for their trip list for 2018 that they've issued, there's not a lot of trip coordinators, even though there's a lot of trips. Now, I can't even see the 21st to the 22nd of April.
Do you want me to read?
Yeah, I think they've missed.
So when you say trip coordinators, what do you think they're looking for?
Well, the people that are organising the trips, there's only literally one, Barry Kempton, down.
There we go. That's with the Wanganui Club from the 21st to the 22nd of April. So, are you suggesting that people volunteer to become a trip coordinator?
Well, I just think if you would join up with this group, they're an amazing group and they get to go to places often, hike places that are not generally accessible by the general public.
Absolutely. And the good thing about that is you're with people who know what they're doing and are probably it's really easy to get lost in the hills, even if you're apparently following a track. So if you're with a group of people who've been there, done that and know what they're doing, that is actually a good way to start. So it sounds like they have suppers, they have leaders, their trips actually, I think they'll tell you whether it's very easy, moderate fitness, more fitness extreme would be 8 to 18 hours. So you could find out whether the trip was a gentle stroll up a windy track or whether it was going to be a 2-day marathon. Mm-hmm. So I think, in other words, would you suggest they contact the newsletter editor?
Yes, or even Barry Kempton.
Barry Kempton. Shall I give Barry Kempton's number?
Yeah.
Barry Kempton. Okay, so he's the trip coordinator for the trip on the 21st to the 22nd of April with the Wanganui Club, so that you get to meet even more people and probably see a different part of the country. Barry Kempton, and he would be 06304 9353 if you wanted to help join the South Wairarapa Tramping Club and become and help them with trip coordination.
Okay. So can I just ask you too, Bridget, where's Lottie at the moment?
Lottie's lying on the floor.
All right. Just as well.
She could sit in a chair and you could see her if I could get her to bark.
No, that's fine. But I know we've only got we've got about 10 minutes left, but I just thought the latest Carterton Crier is out. Have you seen it?
I have seen it. Was there something to do with dogs in it?
Well, there was actually, but this one is how to change your life without getting out of bed. Now, this is not relevant to you. Oh. It is relevant to me, who I have.
Odette Rowe.
Yes.
Yep.
Odette Rowe grew up with a mum who had chronic fatigue, and she's amazing. Now, we've started up a small Facebook support group for people in the Wairarapa called the Empty Tank Club.
Oh, brilliant.
So you can join the group, but it is specifically for people, with chronic fatigue, or like me, ME, and they're having a day on Saturday, May the 12th, from 10:30 to 12:30, only for a couple of hours, because that's all we'll be able to
handle
do.
That going to sleep. Is there a snooze at the end?
Well, I don't know, but it says please wear loose and comfy clothing, and payment by koha, which will cover the koha. Yeah. But Odette's going to take us through some of the ways that we can do. It's a morning rest shop of restorative yoga.
Brilliant.
Okay, and it's a simple shared lunch will mark the official launch of the group. And Odette's going to share some easy yoga techniques to replenish energy, and all can be done in bed or on the sofa.
There we go.
Which I think is just perfect.
Believe it or not, that's how Pilates started.
Is it?
Well, I can't think of his first name now, but anyway, Mr. Pilates, who organised the technique, actually did it for people who were on bed rest, mainly soldiers, because they'd been injured in the war, and they couldn't get out of bed. So a lot of his exercises are actually done lying down, and that was the reason why. I mean, now you have all sort of fancy equipment like reformers and so on, but that was what he used, the bed like a sort of an exercise table.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think in those days they had very hard beds, It probably was a bit like lying on a board. But yeah, it was to help people recuperate in hospital after they've been, had surgery for wounds, and I believe it was for soldiers. So that's how that started.
Wow. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, this latest Carterton Crier, it's amazing these days,
magazine,
isn't it? It is. But there's a lot of theatre stuff in there. They've been auditioning for Nell Gwyn.
Oh.
Yes, yeah. And it's got a lot of parts in it. So this will be...
Is that with Lighthouse or... Limelight?
No, this is Limelight. Yes, Limelight.
Limelight. There we go.
So, but, some of them, like Nell Gwyn, you've got to be able to sing solo.
Oh, that counts me out.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not
talk solo, but not sing solo.
No, I'm not a singer. I am not a singer, because I was very tempted, but when I heard, it's a musical, that really...
Well, there must be a chorus, surely.
Oh, but even so, I... am told always to be quiet.
Well, I reckon after your restorative yoga, you'll just be raring to go. Talking of nutrition and fitness and all that and all the stuff that's good for you, I actually went to a Ben Warren seminar out at Rathkeil on Wednesday. Ben Warren Be Pure, and he was very interesting. He talked about how with modern society we're all tired, stressed, and all the rest. So he gave pointers as to how you could turn your life around, and he's heavily into vitamins, because he said, with the way we're farming currently,
are we leaching most of the soil?
Food is not getting it. Hasn't got it hasn't got the value that it used to have, say 40, 50 years ago. So the tip there is grow your own vegetables. So we can all go round to our vegetable plot. Things like eat greens every day, have a good sleep routine, drink lots of water. So I'm now trying to drink 2 litres of water a day, and I'm not a water drinker. He says most of us are dehydrated.
Do you know, though, I know this is naughty, but because I get, to the point where water just doesn't do it for me anymore. So there are some tricks that you can do. Oh. One is Roses make a beautiful lemon and barley water. Ooh. And I can just put a tiny little bit into 1.5 litres, and it flavours it up beautifully. And yes, just enough. And I tell you what, it goes down a treat. I find that I've drunk my 1.5 litres in the
glad
halfway
you gave
through.
that tip, because the only water I drink and really enjoy, I get up in the morning and I have a capful of apple cider vinegar.
Right.
Only not if you have too much, it's disgusting, and that goes down quite well. And I keep it all at room temperature. I can't drink cold water out the fridge. So the lemon. Oh, Rose's lemon barley.
Yes,
I'm going shopping.
I think Barker's make it as well,
Barker's do.
and they do a lovely one as well. But it just gives it enough flavour.
To make you think you like to drink it.
And see, I'm opposite to you. I love ice. And I love crunching ice.
Oh my God!
I don't know, and I love slushies, and I've actually got an ice cruncher at home that I bought.
Oh, for goodness sake.
That I can just throw the ice cubes in, and then you've got a whole lot. I mean, a massive amount of bowl of these slushy, and you can just literally put a little bit of lemon juice or something to give it a bit of flavour, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
And I see if I drink, it's not that I've got sensitive teeth. But I get that cold feeling down, and I just think, I think I'm having a heart attack. I just can't bear it. It's got to be room temperature, otherwise. Isn't that interesting? I'm also different.
It is
different.
I know. Yeah. And I will right through the summer in the event centre this year.
Oh, if you were hot.
Yes, I kept a big 3 kilo bag of ice from New World in the staff room freezer, and you'd see me dashing up the corridor going, ice, ice, baby,
and dropping it down your front.
I chewed it, I just fill up a whole glass full of it and sit there and suck on chew it.
Interesting. Yeah, it was really, I'm not complaining about this summer. It was delicious. It was lovely.
Well, we've got a great program teed up for next week. We've got guests already.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, not giving it away.
No,
so
all right.
Looking forward really to sort of chatting away with you, because you're the co-host next
I know
week.
I am, and I'll put on makeup and mascara next week.
I know, because we didn't realise we were going to be recorded.
No idea at all.
Horror Kapochkin.
I know.
Yeah, please, I am not the most... I have avoided...
We can't all look like Judy Bailey, can we?
No, and I've avoided photographs for years. I am not photogenic in the slightest. But I am looking forward to next week. And
I am too, and it'll be the last one.
It will be, because the week after that, Val and Rob are going to do the sort of very, very last show of Carterton Connections. And from there on, Val and Rob are actually going to take over the slot this time in the morning. I'm not sure that it will be immediately after, but they are not going to run it as Carterton Connections. They're going to run it as their own program, which gives them a much broader scope.
Yeah.
And
what are they going to call it?
Well, I haven't said. I've made a suggestion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've made a suggestion, but they haven't finalised.
Right.
They haven't finalised the name yet, but it'll be really, really exciting when they do. They're so, honestly, they are so professional and so fabulous.
Very good, aren't they? They're a real team, those two.
Yes, when I spoke to them yesterday, they were already pre-interviewing one of their guests for the last show.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So can they? So they can record.
No, they get them to come to their home, or they'll go and visit them, and they then sit and they'll have a coffee and chat to these people, talk about, so that they will then set up a list of questions around the chat, so that the people are feeling very comfortable with them by the time they come in to the studio.
And have they got a sponsor?
I don't know, but if there's anybody out there that feels like sponsoring this, the new program, upcoming program, then feel free, because they're an amazing couple.
They are.
Brits to their boots, both of them.
They're imports, aren't they?
Yeah, but they love New Zealand, and they absolutely adore Carterton, in the Wairarapa where they live. They've lived in Masterton as well as Carterton, so it would be neat if they could get a sponsor.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really exciting. And sometimes you think, that's sad and change is a bit hectic, but actually sometimes things just run their course, and then it's ready to head in another direction, and it's onward and upward and even better.
Exactly. And I mean, I would say to anybody out there, if you've got a passion or a particular interest in your life, could be anything from stamp collecting to bugs to, literally a historical figure that you're absolutely
passionate about.
Yes.
And of Cleves.
Yes. You can find a sponsor that rates are so reasonable, honestly.
So what are they, just to give people a benchmark? Can you remember?
Oh, no. I mean, I think for our program, which was weekly, it was like something like $60 a week for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's for an hour, and you get so much from that, as well as the promos and everything. But it's also, people may not want to do an hour. They may want to do a half an hour. They don't need to do a whole week, like a weekly one. They can do a monthly one or a fortnightly, whatever it is. But it's just fantastic to get these people in talking about their passions and about their interests.
And there's really nowhere else other than community radio where you can do that.
Exactly.
So this community radio, people do need to support Arrow FM, because community radio is it's a gift, it's a platform, it's an opportunity that you're not going to get. You can't just rock up to some commercial radio station and hope that they're going to, put you on air, because they're not.
Exactly. And this is the way to go.
Yeah.
I mean, find yourself a little sponsor. There's lots and lots of local businesses out there, or somebody that is a sort of akin to the, to your passion,
Yep.
And approach them. And, we can even do it on a trial period for 3 months and see how you go.
Because there are costs associated with a radio program, and just having the facility available. Obviously, they need money.
Exactly. But the staff here are wonderful.
They're fabulous.
They'll support you right through.
Lovely Michael and lovely Veronica.
Oh, hola.
Well, do you know... Hola, she's beautiful, isn't she? I guess she's on holiday now because her seat's empty.
Oh, no. I think she's elsewhere. But
okay.
we do need to go. So we'll say goodbye.
We will. We'll see you next Friday.
Yes, absolutely. Take care.
Yes,
Right.
have a good one. Have a good weekend.
See you later.
Adios.
Okay, bye.
Kia hoki koe ki tō uka ipo Ko papatunuku e tako tō nei e